studios in New York City. This is Charlie Rose.
Robin Williams is certainly one of the funniest men on the planet. Mark Romanek is unquestionably considered to be one of the best music video directors in the medium. Together, they have created one of the most disturbing films of the year. 1 Hour Photo is written and directed by Mark and stars Robin as Cy Parrish, a photo developer who crosses the line between desire and obsession. Here is the trailer from the film.
Someone seems sad. They don't have any friends. It makes me feel bad for them.
Who is sad and doesn't have any friends?
Cy.
The photo guy at the 1 Hour place? We really don't know that much about him, you know? I mean, he might even have a lot of friends. And he probably has a girlfriend and a mommy and a daddy who love him.
I don't think he does.
I've been doing mini lab work for over 20 years now. I consider it an important job.
Hi, Mrs. Yorkin. Can I get that address again?
Yes, it's
326 Serrano Terrace.
What you got there, family photos?
Sure.
Yeah, you mind if I take a look?
You're a very lucky man, Mr. Yorkin. You have a wonderful family. And if you don't mind my saying so, a very beautiful house, too.
I'm sorry?
According to the Oxford English Dictionary, the word snapshot was originally a hunting term. You have to look like you're having fun. Smile.
Pretend. This is all pretend. Come on, now! Smash!
1 Hour Photo.
I'm pleased to welcome Robin Williams and Mark Romanek to this table. It is good to have them here because everybody is talking about this movie. Welcome, sir. Good to see you again.
Thank you, sir. It's good to be here in this lovely table once again. Our seance will attempt to contact many spirits.
I certainly hope so. May they be with us, too.
Stay with us. Contacting, oops, he's still alive.
He's under the table.
Under that
Thank you.
Premature.
And be quiet now.
Yeah.
We got to talk here. Mark, tell me.
I was like, come on now, son.
Tom, shut up.
I got a new heart. Leave me alone. Come on now.
A new valve. I got it right there.
One valve.
You know.
One valve. Come on, had it done by Sears. While you wait.
No, we went down to the pig farm.
Bobby, we got another one here for Mr. Rose. Give me Louise, the good one.
Yeah.
Give me a big valve.
Yeah, Louise ready. We've been fattening her up.
Fattening her for a week. Yeah. She's got the biggest valve I've ever seen.
That's what we need. He's a big boy. We need a big valve.
Big boy. Bring the big boy.
And make sure it's healthy because Mr. Rose wants to live a long, long time.
Don't bring me Teddy.
He's not so good. Teddy sleeps all the time.
I saw that pig eat smoking the other day. It's hard to see a pig with little cloven hooves.
It's not the one we want. No, we want the one. We want the young one, the big one, the right one.
Yeah, you don't want smoked pork.
This is what the set
This is what it's like.
This is what I like for 43 days.
Is that right?
And it was a joy. It was fantastic.
We had to do it in between that.
In between this.
Oh, God, yeah.
Tell me about the genesis of the film. I mean, go ahead.
But you know, I grew up on these great movies in the 70s, these kind of lonely man stories, these paranoid kind of existential films like Taxi Driver and Coppola's The Conversation and Polanski's The Tenant, and they really struck a chord with me as a teenager, and I always thought it would be cool to make a film in that style, but you know, for the 21st century. And I've also always been fascinated by those big discount mega stores. They seem visually, you know, really exotic and interesting and strange and filled with subtext, and they're very American.
They are.
Yeah, I like hanging out in them.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Me too.
And they're great for people watching. And so I said, well, what would be the most compelling character that would work at a place like that? When I thought of the 1 Hour Photo Clerk, this whole kind of 3 acts of a movie flooded into my head, and I thought, you know, this could be that character like those 70s films that I really loved when I was a teenager.
And so did you sit down and write a script or what?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you know, the 3 acts of it kind of flooded into my head pretty quickly because I went, well, if this guy works in a store like that, but it's in sort of a prosperous area, he probably doesn't get paid very much. Maybe he lives in the kind of low economic area of the town and has to travel to this nice suburb. He's going to be inundated every day with these, you know, snapshots of people's lives that are seemingly much more joyful and filled with, you know, life and richness than he could ever have in his own life. And that immediately suggested a pretty interesting kind of dramatic starting point for a movie.
You could take it anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, once I got that premise to start it off, I really just started writing, and the story just sort of came as I typed it, and I wrote it really kind of unusually quickly.
When did you get involved?
I don't know, obviously after he finished the script, which
Yes.
that whole psychic hotline thing wasn't working.
It wasn't working for you.
But as soon as I read it, I went, this is fascinating. And then I knew the second part of the equation was the visuals, and then I saw his videos, and when I'm in, I had to do it because I hadn't read a character that complex in a story that took so many interesting turns in a long, long time.
So you said yes?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we had a meeting, we had a lunch meeting, and when I said yes, I think he thought it was a joke.
You didn't believe him?
Well, I mean, you know, I thought it was sort of one of the, like what they say in Hollywood, it was like a courtesy meeting where you just sort of meet each other.
Thank you, this is really good.
You see it,
Good luck. And,
yeah, right.
you know, don't speak ill of me. You know.
I mean, I didn't have those kind of...
I would never do your movie. I just came here to make you feel good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
You're paying, right?
Yeah. Could you pick up the check?
Yeah.
But go ahead. So
well,
you...
no, I didn't really, as I was writing it, I didn't really have those kind of ambitions to cast a big movie star like Robin in the film. I thought I'd be lucky to get an interesting indie actor or a character actor.
But what brought you to him? I mean, why did you call him in the first place?
It was sort of
the script.
you know, it was sort of just through the normal business channels in Hollywood. It just went very fast. My agent was good friends with Robin's manager, and he had read the script and said, you know, I think Robin might like this. He's looking for some new challenges. I mean, he should tell you his side of it, because...
Yeah, it came through my agent, Mike Mitchell, who found it, and I was always looking for, especially dark characters, and I only played 1 or 2 before. One was in a very small movie that I think no one saw. I saw it, but then...
What was that?
Secret Agent. With I played a character called the Professor, who I found out later on was a very... the big fan of the book was Theodore Kaczynski. Not someone you want to get a fan letter from.
No,
but, and the other one was Dead Again that Kenneth Branagh had done.
What was it, before you go on, what was it that Ted Kaczynski liked about the film?
He didn't like the film as much as he loved the book, The Conrad's the Secret Agent.
Oh,
I mean, I
I
don't
see.
think Ted saw any movies because he was up in Montana growing vegetables with his own.
He couldn't program the VCR.
Yeah. After that point, he's going, yeah.
I never liked science anyway.
Yeah. I enjoy your work. I wrote you this letter. Please open it in, well, anytime you want.
Then what was it about the book that Kaczynski liked?
He loved this character, the Professor, who was a chemist who, in essence, loved to make explosive devices. Hey, wait a minute, there's a coincidence.
There's an idea.
Hey, there's Ted sitting at home.
And if we had banned Conrad, we would have
exactly. If there'd been no Conrad, maybe no Mad Bomber, maybe no...
Right. Wait a minute, hold on. But that was the only other dark movies I'd done before, and Mike found this script and said, I think this is quite unusual. And I think he approached your agent and said, would you consider it? And they said, sure. And the idea of me doing this, I think, kind of already starts people going, wait a minute, you know, I've only done kind of warm, nice people. Yeah. And already it puts people in a kind of an interesting mode, off balance, which is great.
Now, what was the name of the movie that I loved you in this summer that I saw?
Which one?
In which you played the guy on the island. I think it was filmed up in Alaska or somewhere.
Oh, Insomnia.
Insomnia, right.
Yeah, I mean, it was weird. 1 hour photo film first, and then I did Death to Smoochie, then Insomnia. Everyone's calling it the Triptych of Evil. Sounds like a Robin Williams in the Triptych of Evil. Next Texas Chainsaw Circumcision. You know, he's back. He's a Moyle with a vengeance. But it's like
enough comedy. He wants to be where the bad guys are.
Yeah. Today you're a man.
Don't give away these ideas on the air, because someone will steal them.
Yeah, there's a guy going, hey, I found an idea, Robin. I wrote that script, you bastard.
I wrote it 10 years ago.
10 years
I
ago.
said it to your
And
agent.
them Hollywood Hebrews won't do my movie. But back to the thing.
You steal my ideas every time.
Every time! I have an idea about the Civil War. I have an idea called Guns N' Moses.
Yes.
But they won't do it now.
No, it won't.
It's hard to push a movie like that.
It is indeed. So wait a minute, what was it
I kept
about?
saying that on the set. Wait a minute,
Where
were we?
Where the hell were we?
You know, welcome to the Etch-a-Sketch School of Interview. Hey, we're back.
Hey, where were we? Where are we going?
The cycle of the script that, you know, I think the idea of me doing it was kind of intriguing, and then we met and said, let's do this. And I think it's always been, it's been a kind of an interesting, you know, the process has been quite interesting that way of, you know, starting off, yeah, let's do it, and then we drew all these. He's cast a lot of amazing people in this movie.
Like
Connie Nielsen.
Yeah, Connie Nielsen, yeah.
And even people playing, like the guy you mentioned, playing.
Yeah, Nick Searcy.
Nick Searcy.
Just terrific actors, some of whom just were nice enough to come in and do a day.
Right, and people who read it were like, the idea, once again, was so interesting and intriguing to them that everyone kind of signed on pretty quickly.
I don't want to leave the idea, though. You made these 3 movies in which you play a bad guy.
Right.
Was there some need in you? Was there some reason you wanted to go out and tackle things that you hadn't done before?
I wanted to have people to understand my inner self. I never meant to hurt anybody. They shouldn't have been there. They should never have looked at me that way. I wanted to.
I had these demons, and I had to get them out.
My head was like a fishbowl, and the bubbler was broken. I had. That's a bad one. Even that therapist would go, ask him about that. But I think the idea was, as an actor, wanting to play those characters, because, as Anthony Hopkins said, they're no longer bound by the laws of likability.
Yeah.
That you have a character that can be so, and in this case, so kind of normal, hyper-normal, and banal in many ways, that you no longer have to be charismatic. And we went out of our way to take away all of that. Like, right off the bat, Mark designed the makeup with Cherie Mins to be very much totally opposite of who I am. Thinning the hair, blonding the hair out, glasses, clothes that I would not want to keep a single item of. Clothes that if you set on fire, even the fire would go, I don't know.
I don't want it. Yeah. All right. Speaking of that, let's take a look at this. You mentioned Connie Nielsen plays Nina York and drops her film off.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. You've always wanted to make movies?
Yeah.
Even when you were doing music videos, you knew where you were going?
Yeah, the music videos were kind of, I always treated them sort of like a sketch pad, so that eventually make the painting. But the great thing about the videos was you could really just, they're 3-week commitments, and you can try any sort of aesthetic. I did science fiction, I did some things on a hand crank silent movie camera, I did, every aesthetic I could think of, gothic, like an Edward Gorey video. So, it was a great kind of elite graduate school of learning the craft, and it gave me some time to also, develop some ideas about what I might like to do with a film when I made a film. I wanted to sort of take my time.
And the experience for you?
Well, it's going to sound fawning, but I mean...
fawning.
I'm going to, to have, Robin, endorse this project and say, yes, I'll do this movie, and he did it for very little money compared to what he normally is paid, and it's a great vote of confidence, and he's going to be embarrassed. He hates compliments, but It was incredibly great experience working with him. He was very trusting of me as a first-time director, and we spent half of our time laughing, which really just relaxed everyone. I think we all did better work because of that, because there were, there were long days.
Yeah,
the crew made
18-hour photo at the end.
The crew made T-shirts that said 18-hour
photo.
18
Not 1 hour, 18 hour.
18 hour. Good luck, welcome back.
Yeah, so it was a great experience.
All right, roll tape. I just want to get some clips in here to show you the range of what's going on. This is where Cy, played by Robin, breaks into the Connie Nielsen, but Nina Yorkin's house.
Ooh. Hello.
Hello.
You've got mail.
What was there anything difficult about making this movie?
Well,
and for you to get over any kind of hump as a
I think
filmmaker?
Making every movie is difficult. Maybe you can attest to that. It's just it's a tough job. It's kind of a marathon, boot camp of.
I think you said it best because you said that making music videos was a sprint and this is a marathon.
Yeah.
It's the long program and the skating. It's the same thing. It's like it's every day. It's and keeping track of things and making sure you keep the same it's quality control most of all.
Yeah.
Because when you're shooting, especially a movie like this where you're using real locations and you have to move in and out of places, it's making sure you get everything you need before you have to go.
Is there any part of you that wants to make movies?
Direct movies?
Yes.
No, none.
None.
I respect people like Mark and people that I've worked with that know it. And sometimes I get the illusion, yes, no.
I'm an artist and I could do that
too. Yeah, I
too.
could do that, yes, I am an artist.
I can make people laugh, I can make them cry,
Yeah,
I certainly can make a film.
Yeah, and I could direct. And part of me goes, liar! Liar! No,
I
have no
admire
desire.
all those actors who've been so good at directing.
But my real wish is to cater.
Craft service?
Craft service. No one ever says, what do you want to do? Cater.
Cater.
Yeah, I want to make cream sandwiches. No one does that really good.
And I want to take them to their house. I want to get inside their house. I want to look at their pictures.
Hello?
I want to go in their bedroom and use their bathroom. That's what I want to do. Well,
Charlie, let's talk about this. After the operation, whose heart did you get? I got a heart from a prison in Texas. I got a valve from a man.
They told me it was a pig. They told me it was a pig. It wasn't a pig.
No, it was a vow from a program. But no, I think basic bottom line, no.
Yeah.
I love acting. I love performing, doing all that. But there are people who direct and have the have all the qualifications, and that's not one of them. I don't have one of them.
You could do it if you wanted to. Why do you do? Why did you go back to stand up this summer?
I did it because one reason was it happened after there was a tribute to Whoopi Goldberg in Washington about a month after 9/11, and the people responded to the show like it was like the relief of a siege, you know, and they came up like, "You have broken the siege of Richmond," and people were just saying thank you. No one had been there, and they had no real kind of entertainment, live entertainment in a while, and all of a sudden I went, maybe now's the time to go back. It seemed like people needed it. And then it was just, I started performing in a club in San Francisco, and people did need to kind of talk about it, kind of talk about what we've been going through. And then it just built. And then I went around and played all over the country, different places, different cities, a couple of cities in Canada. And it just started to get a kind of a, it seemed cathartic for me and for the audience both.
To have someone, be there talking about contemporary life.
Talking about life as we know it right now. What we're going through, like airport security, and the fact that that there was always some sweet little stewardess coming out going, "Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a few random bag checks. These are totally random. I'm just going to read off a few names. Hassan Binsi." It's like every name is Arabic except for one blonde. And you go, "Oh, I don't know why they picked me." And then they're doing things like, taking away nail clippers and, everything else. But yet, before all of this, I didn't know that you could carry a 4-inch blade on a plane. But I work at a chef. I'm a sushi chef. I need my blade. On the plane, I make sushi for you. It's always very bizarre. And, people have told me stories of being on a plane and they have, they give them meat but no knife to cut
That's true.
Sir, the man next to you. The quest for fire flight, it's
true.
Very bizarre.
There's nothing but plastic on the plane.
Yeah, and it's all the things we've gone through, and also, having saying different things, and right now...
Like what?
Oh, God, like what? My favorite quote, he said, a lot of our imports come from other countries. I went, yeah. And then we had...
He did say that.
Oh, yeah. It's like, he said there's so many things that at a certain point you go, come on. I expect...
Somebody's inside working for us.
Yeah, basically, when I go, who's working the arms? There's Ashcroft in the back going, come on now, say that. And the fact that he doesn't speak while Cheney's drinking water. That's all that stuff. And right now he wants to go to work. Give me the codes. No, come on. Give me the codes. No, W, sit down. Give me the codes. And then, I can launch. Dad did.
I want to go to Baghdad. I want to be there.
Can I go? Come on, Dad did. Iraq 2.0. He's back. A vision, and sir, you can't. I declare war. No, you can't. So it's not like I declare it's a hot day. It's and they want to show us some evidence, a few pictures. I have pictures here of missile sites.
And I know Al Qaeda was there in Baghdad.
Yeah,
there's a direct link between.
That's great when they basically ask him. Did you know that? I know it. How do you know it? I just know it. Okay, how do you know? I know it. Do you want to show us anything? A tape? A little, is it bigger?
I know it.
Yeah, it's bigger than a bread box. What are you going with?
All right, let's go back to the film.
Sorry. The state of the world as we know it. Forget that whole war thing.
Yeah, that whole thing.
Get out of here, you little...
we spent a lot of hours on this show talking about that war thing, as you know.
It's coming.
Pesky war.
That pesky war thing.
Oh, boy. This is where Cy tells Nina that he feels like an uncle to their son, Jake. This all comes from 1 Hour Photo. Take a look. When you're making this movie, what did you tell him about the character? Read the script and you'll know.
Well, I didn't want to step on Robin's toes about kind of, creating the kind of character he wanted to create. We collaborated on the look because I thought it was important for this, superstar Robin Williams to kind of disappear into a different physical transformation, so people would have the chance to just forget they're watching Robin Williams, which people have said has been the case for long periods of the movie. They forgot they're watching Robin Williams. He disappears into the character so much. One of the things I did is I showed him some photographs because I think the film's about photographs in some ways, and they communicate a lot. And I showed him one photograph in particular. I don't know if you remember, of a mother and a child taking a shower together, naked in an outdoor shower in the sunlight. It's a very innocent image, very beautiful, very warm. And I said, this is everything that this character never had and desperately wants to have, and probably knows in his heart he'll never will have. And, you know, I think that might have helped.
Oh, I mean, like, because, I mean, in the reality is, there's that line you say, and it's in the script, that family snapshots, the people take pictures of the happy moments. And, you know, and it's that thing of when you think of your own family pictures or whatever, that you'll see a picture, and most of the time you could put yourself in that place and really start to remember what happened at that moment. Most of the time you could look at it. And, you know, there is that thing of, that it's emotional shorthand, and it's a captured moment in time. It really struck home when we did a flea market scene where there were photographs we had to get releases from everyone to get all these kind of old photographs, so that I'd be looking through old snapshots, and you realize you're looking at a lot of the snapshots of people, and they're gone, you know. But there's still a moment where people are at the beach, but it's from the 20s or the 30s, and if they're not gone, they're certainly not looking like that anymore. And it was quite wonderful, but yet it's that weird thing of, this is a moment.
Yeah. But when Cy looks at that, what does he see?
He sees, well, a couple of different things. I mean, when he looks at the family's photographs, he sees everything he doesn't have, and he could generate another life. He can have almost, like that which he never had. When he looks at other people's pictures, I think he sees them almost as objects. He composes them well. I mean, we talked about that early on. You know?
Yeah, I think he also sees photographs of other people, and he realizes that someone cared enough about those people to bother to take their picture.
That's my favorite line. There's a wonderful line that said,
and he doesn't have that.
I existed, and someone cared enough about me to take my photo, which is a very powerful statement. There was someone on the other end taking your picture, and that cared about that moment, and you both share that. And I, as Cy, would have not that memory. Actually, I have a hideous memory associated with photographs, which you find out later, but it's, and that more than anything built off of, you know, what photographs are to him, and what they were to him is even worse.
All right, take a look at this. This is where Cy stalks the Yorkins outside of their house. How did you like the editing process?
Oh, well, it's the best part. And I spent 13 months editing this movie, not because it was a problem, but because they couldn't tear me out of there. It's, you know.
Were you going back and forth, or?
You know, it's a delicate movie, because, you know, your allegiances to the characters in this movie kind of you know, walk this sort of line between sympathy, and you sort of feel sorry for Cy, and then you're really creeped out by the violation that he's causing to this family. And it was very delicate walking that line, so that I wasn't indicating, okay, here you're supposed to, you know, feel really bad for him, here you're supposed to be scared by him. I wanted the audience to be able to make up their own minds about how they felt about the characters, because I think that engages an audience more.
The ambiguity people seem to be really enjoying, I mean, in a weird way. I mean, that people say thank you, because it isn't, you know, it isn't saying this is what it is. It's people going, oh my God.
Yeah,
and people said that when they walk out, a couple of things. One woman said, I was creeped out in a good way, which is, thank you. But the other thing is that people said that the kind of post-discussion is very interesting. People, the unsettling nature of it, and talking about it with each other has been very interesting, what they say and how it affected them, because it isn't direct. It isn't like, this is what it is. They come out going, do you think it means that? Or, and picking up the visuals, which are so powerful. You know, some of the images, I think, really are almost Jungian, that they just hit you like bang, and they get under people's radar and really unsettle them in a good way, if you could say that. But I think it really provokes that type of discussion.
Do you specifically aware of the fact that you don't want people to see Robin Williams? You want them to see the character?
That's what we started off front, and that's why it was great to have Mark, because he would monitor it very much and say, you know, that's not Cy.
Yeah.
And it was great to have, because it's about, once again, it's all the details, the minutiae, everything in that, the sets, it's all part of it. It all fits in. Someone said another thing one day. I was walking in the Walmart and I disappeared. That's a great compliment.
Yeah,
it means
sure.
that all of a sudden...
They didn't see Robin.
Yeah, I mean, but also they didn't see Cy.
Yeah.
That he disappeared and became part of it.
Yeah.
And that type of detail has been really lovely and interesting to have. And it's the thing that you said, Dion Arbus said, that the more detailed you are in your work, the more universal it is. Yeah. And the behavior and all those little things that people have come up to me after and said, I love your shoes. I went, thank you. No, I mean in the movie. And they love the fact that when I walk, you know, it's that, you know, that kind of the squeakiness of that. Everything gets under people's skin, the sound, the images. That's a great thing.
Do you have to put brakes on an instinct to improvise?
No, because like we talked in the beginning, I would have moments to just blow the doors off. I couldn't be, if I got method, and sometimes even Mark had to say, you're getting too tense with it, because I would go method and be, I've got to do this, and be going, and he'd go, just blow it out for a moment. I'd go blow it out, then come back and be very free, and be very kind of calm. There's kind of a residual energy that you said existed afterwards, which was great.
Blow
Well,
it
I think it, you know, there's a lot of tension that's created because we know Robin Williams from, you know, talk shows and the comedies and the stand-up. So we know that he's got this volcanic amount of, you know, of energy. So when he's playing this very repressed, restrained character, we know he's repressing a volcano. And that creates a lot of tension. If another actor, we might suspect he's, you know, repressing a hiccup, it's not as tense.
It's like, but it, yeah, and to keep that going, and you're charged up. But it helped to have that kind of freedom to go off, and then you come back, and then there's this thing where you're very much there and present. And people would say that they were, you know, registering when you're just watching someone, that they would pick up on a lot of things. When that's very good. That's what we wanted. That when you have a character, most of the time it's just observing, which is a very interesting, delicate line to walk, where you're looking at other people, and you have to be with this kind of mixed bag of envy, anger, all these different things kind of going through, not just one emotion, but many, like as in life, where lots of things are going on simultaneously, which is great.
I don't know how to ask this question, but I'm interested in the answer. Is it where are you and where do you want to go now in terms of this?
With what I've been doing?
Yeah.
The same. I want to keep doing interesting movies like this, and you know, I'm 51, so I'm getting towards Walter Brennan. Like, you good characters. But I want to do interesting films, work with interesting people, and you know, that's because you get to a certain point, you say, what are you leaving behind? And if it's movies like this, I say, great.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
it's something that has an effect and that, you know, kind of has a half-life. That's a wonderful thing. Doing the stand-up has another thing. It seems to it affects people in a way. And to have access to both, it's like, you know, Brecht said, having passports to many countries. That I get the passport to do the HBO and then get the passport to do this. And it kind of takes people by surprise, but that's great. So people keep guessing.
And the more you do, I mean, I assume the more you do, especially this kind of thing, you know, the more it'll be easier for you to do it. It'll be less of them seeing Robin Williams.
But don't fall into a pattern, you know, mix it up, throw something in that. So always people are going, what's this one?
Yeah.
Rather than going, oh, that, you know, seen that, done that, hello. But, you know, that's what's been good.
Thank you for coming.
Oh, man, thank you. This has been fun, and good luck with that thing. I'm happy about that.
You know what happens to me as I walk around the street? People will look at me and they'll say,
Yeah, that's nice.
It's better than if you people go, they go, when you go like, all right. What'd you have? What'd I have? I had a penile transplant. What'd you do? Ready from a pig? Nope. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, come over here, Robin. You got to pull this carriage through the park. I told him right there ever since he had that transplant. He's been pulling my carriage through the park. It's been so great. Has to stop once in a while. Yeah, but that's all right. It's been
hello, doctor, could I maybe get another appointment?
Yeah, another appointment. What's happened? I don't know. Here's the deal. I need 2 horseshoes. Yeah. Yeah. And how's that mare? What do you mean a stud fee? How old am I? 4. 4, yeah. Bobby, how you doing? Welcome to the genetic thing. Eventually go,
How's that? I feel good since I had that fig valve put in. A lot of people saying it hasn't affected me. Charlie said I should get a fig valve. I don't know what's the matter. And people go,
Robin, hi, it's Michael on line 2. What are you doing? No one knows.
this is my boy Gil. I don't know, you know. Bob, yeah, ever since that genetic research has come through, and the Botox is working, and the kids are happy. How you feel? You feel better since the elephant hormone? What are you doing? That would be amazing. That's the next step. You know that people are gonna, you know, people now, you see people get those little contact lenses with the goat eyes. How are you doing? Great party.
Thank you.
Thanks, Charlie.
Pleasure.
It was a good day.
Much success.
That's nice after the creepy movie. 15 minutes on that. And me being monkey boy. Yeah, people wonder about me. Where did I get the transplant? Transplant, it's me. I've been hit on by gorillas. Give it a break. Get letters from Dear Miss Fossey. Yes, I can visit your orangutans. Please, don't be offended if they hit on me. The baboon's going, what about the ass? You've got an airbag for an ass. Shut up! I don't care, mandrill. I don't care. Charlie said,
It's very good.
Oh, yeah, they got people knowing that.
1 hour photo.
Yes, check it out. This is not at the end of this, people going,
Possible segue.
what was that?
Where is he going?
This sure wasn't Salman Rushdie.
It was.
Thanks.
Thank you
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thanks very much.
My pleasure. We'll be right back. Stay with us.